In life, we all dream about becoming successful. We all imagine a better future, a better version of ourselves. But dreaming alone changes nothing. Many people wake up inspired after watching motivational videos. They feel powerful, focused, ready to conquer the world. But after a few days, that fire fades. Why? Because motivation can start a journey, but only discipline can finish it. If you don't fully understand this, listen carefully to today's story. It might change the way you see success forever. In a quiet town in Ohio, there lived a 19-year-old girl named Hannah. Hannah wanted to become a professional writer. She imagined her books on shelves, her name on covers, readers lining up for autographs. Every night, she watched interviews of famous authors. She followed writing pages. She bought journals and colorful pens. And every time she felt inspired, she would whisper to herself, "From tomorrow, I will write 3,000 words daily." No excuses. The first 2 days were magical. She wrote with passion. Her imagination flowed like a river. But on the third day, she felt tired. On the fourth day, she felt blank. On the fifth day, she told herself, "I'll restart properly next week." Weeks turned into months. Her notebook stayed half empty. And slowly, doubt began to grow inside her. Maybe I'm not meant to be a writer. One afternoon, Hannah visited the local library. It was an old brick building with wooden floors and the comforting smell of books. There she noticed an elderly woman arranging returned novels carefully on a cart. Her name was Mrs. Carter. Hannah had seen her many times before. She always arrived at the same time, always left at the same time, always calm. That day, Hannah gathered courage and asked, "Mrs. Carter, have you always worked here?" The old woman smiled. "For 32 years. Don't you ever get bored?" Hannah asked innocently. Mrs. Carter laughed softly. "Let me show you something." She walked Hannah to a corner desk near a window. Inside the drawer were stacks of handwritten pages. "You write?" Hannah asked, surprised. "Yes," Mrs. Carter replied. "Every single morning." Hannah's eyes widened. "You wrote all this recently?" "No," she said gently. "Over 25 years." Hannah was shocked. "But why aren't these published?" Mrs. Carter closed the drawer carefully. "Because that was never the point." Hannah looked confused. Mrs. Carter sat down and began her story. "When I was your age, I also wanted to be a famous writer. I waited for inspiration. I waited for big ideas. Some weeks I wrote a lot. Some months I wrote nothing. One day, my mentor told me something that changed my life. He said, 'Inspiration visits occasionally. Discipline lives with you.'" Hannah listened closely. "So I made one small rule," Mrs. Carter continued. "I would write 500 words every morning at 6 a.m. Before breakfast, before work, before excuses." "Only 500? Hannah asked. "Yes, only 500, even if they were terrible." "The first year," she said, "was lonely. No applause, no recognition, just me and blank pages. The second year felt repetitive. The third year, I stopped worrying about whether it was good. By the fifth year, something magical happened." "What?" Hannah whispered. "I became better. Not suddenly, not dramatically, but undeniably better." Just then, a tall man entered the library carrying gardening tools. He greeted Mrs. Carter warmly. "That's Mr. Lewis," she said. "He maintains the garden outside." Hannah noticed how beautiful the garden looked. Colorful flowers, trimmed hedges, perfect pathways. Mrs. Carter called him over. "Mr. Lewis, would you tell her what you once told me about roses?" He chuckled. "Ah, that lesson." He looked at Hannah and said, "Do you see those roses outside? They didn't bloom in a week. I water them every day. I trim them regularly. Some days I see growth. Some days I see nothing. But roots don't grow where people can see." Hannah felt something shift inside her. Mr. Lewis continued, "If I only watered them when I felt like it, they would die. Consistency keeps them alive." Mrs. Carter added, "Most people quit during the invisible stage, when effort feels useless, when progress feels slow, but success is usually growing underground." Hannah walked home that evening thinking deeply. She realized something painful. She didn't lack talent. She lacked consistency. She had been chasing excitement instead of building habits. That night, she made a simple decision. Not 3,000 words. Not best-selling dreams. Just 500 words every morning at 6 a.m. No matter what. The first month was uncomfortable. Some mornings she stared at the screen. Some mornings she wrote nonsense. But she didn't break the rule. 6 months passed. Her sentences improved. Her thoughts became clearer. 1 year later, she had completed her first full manuscript. 2 years later, she self-published her first novel online. It didn't become a bestseller overnight, but readers appreciated her honesty. 3 years later, a small publishing house in New York noticed her work. They offered her a contract. When people asked her, "Hannah, how did you finally make it?" she would smile and say, "I stopped chasing motivation. I built discipline instead." She understood something powerful. Motivation makes you feel ready. Discipline makes you ready. Motivation is loud. Discipline is quiet. Motivation waits for perfect conditions. Discipline works in any condition. Years later, when young writers came to her for advice, she always said, "Don't try to write a masterpiece tomorrow. Write a little today, then again tomorrow, then again the day after." Small pages become big books. So if you're listening to this story right now, stop waiting for the perfect mood. Stop waiting for Monday. Stop waiting for the new year. Choose one small action. Just one. Do it every day. Even when you don't feel inspired. Even when you don't see results. Even when nobody notices. Because discipline works silently. And one day, the results will speak loudly. Success isn't built in one dramatic moment. It's built in ordinary days repeated with commitment. Start today. Stay consistent. And slowly, quietly, you will build the life you once only imagined. If you learn something from this story, ask yourself, what is one small thing you will do every single day starting now? We'll meet again in the next story.